So today is lesson 6 in Intro to Web Programming. And I'm going to open up our project. We've been working on our music library. I've already connected to the VPN, but you'll want to connect so that you can access your database. I've also already started up my local host, my XAMPP server. It's already running. If you're going to work on your local server, make sure you open up XAMPP or MAMP and click start on your server so that you can work as well. And then just open up your code editor and we'll open up our files from last week. I've already got mine open here. So we want to do some work with our musicians page. I have a bunch of junk data in here. I really only have one fully valid record. Everything else I want to be able to delete, but I right now have no way to go in and delete. So what I'd like to do is add the ability from this page for me to click on any one of these records and delete it from the database. So what things are we going to need to do in order to make that functional? This shouldn't actually take us very long. What's the first thing we're going to need visually on this page? Yeah, something to click, some indicator that I want to delete one of these records. And when I click on that, so I could use an icon, I could use a link, I could use a button, and I probably want to put one in every row, so I know exactly which row I want to delete. What should happen when whenever the user clicks a delete button or link? Right. So first of all, we should never delete from the database directly because user may click on the wrong thing. If they're working on a mobile device and they have fat thumbs, they might accidentally tap the wrong delete link or button. So we should give them a chance to confirm their deletion. So we can add a little JavaScript that'll pop open a message with an OK and a cancel button in case they've clicked on the wrong thing. So we'll need to do that. And then what else will we need? So when the user clicks OK, what's our third step? Give them a button, give them a confirmation. Right, then we'll need to figure out which record they chose, connect to the database, and actually remove that record from the database. And then we have a couple of choices. What should we show the user in the browser when all that's done? I guess we have a couple of options of what we could show them. Yeah, we could show them a message saying, the record's been deleted, or what else could we do as an alternative? Yeah, we could just take them back to this page and we should see that that item got removed automatically. So we could show them a confirmation, maybe not necessary, because if we take them here, they're going to see whatever they clicked is no longer there. So we'll need another page for that, but we'll start by putting our delete links on here. So I'm going to open up my musicians page. And again, you can get this page from GitHub if you need it, but you will have to put in your own database name, username, and password. So what I want to do is add one more column inside of my loop. After we show the city over on the right, I want a bunch of delete buttons or links over here. So I'll put my cursor in here after my last TD tag on line 30. I'm going to put in a blank line because I want to add a new column at the end. Usually the delete links are off to the right is where we typically expect to see them. Oops. Oh, sorry. So let's add in a link. And our link is going to call a page, which we'll have to build, called delete musician.php. We're going to have to build this link out in stages. This is the start of it. Yes, I did. Thank you for checking. I appreciate that. So we're just inserting this in between our last NTD and our end of our TR. So that should give us this result. If I refresh, we now get the word delete, and it's in blue. Maybe I want to change the style a bit and make it red instead. So I could add maybe a class. Bootstrap, any class that has the word danger in it means it's going to use a red font. Optional, but if I add that, now my links are red instead of blue. What will happen if we click one of the delete links right now? What should happen? So when I click, this behavior is expected. It's now loading our delete page, but we haven't built that page yet. So in order to get this error to go away, we need to create a new file with this name. We'll need to call it delete musician. So the only thing that's new here is line 31. I haven't changed anything else in this file. We'll need to do some more with it, but this is a start. So I want to now make a delete musician page. It's not going to be functional yet, but if we create the page, our 404 error will go away. And clicking the link will just give us a blank page for now. So I'll go to my code editor, and I'm going to make a new PHP file with this exact name you see in the href. I'll call it delete musician, which right now is an empty page. So now if I just refresh, my 404 error goes away. The page we're linking to now exists. So the page will load, it just doesn't do anything. I added line 31, and I created a page, created a new page with that name. That's it. Because we added a link to the page, and then when we click it, we got 404 because that page hadn't been created yet. So all you have to do is create an empty file with that name. We'll add the code later. So now there's one problem with the link. It works, but it's not going to help us to delete one of the records from our database. There's something we're going to have to add to this link, something missing. What will we need to add? Because notice, no matter which link I click, when I click the first one, I go here, when I click down here. So how are we going to know when we get to the delete page, right? I've got about 10 records here in my table, 10, 12 records. How can we tell this page which row I clicked on? Right? That right now, all these links are going to the exact same place. So when we come to this page, we want to delete something, but we don't know what we're supposed to delete. Well, right, every musician has an ID. So we want to add the ID on to each link. So they're all still going to go to the same page, but this page in the URL, it's going to have the ID attached to it. So we'll now know which musician ID the user chose, and then we can delete the right one. So our link's going to get a little complicated. We're going to add on a parameter or a value. Close this up so we can see all the code. So I'll highlight what I've added here. In blue, we're adding on a variable to our URL where we're passing in the ID. So our next page knows which record we want to get rid of. And the syntax is a little bit confusing, right? Whoops, sorry, I apologize. That quote shouldn't be there. That should just be here. So our href will be delete musician.php question mark musician ID equals 1000 or 2000. So this is what this code, here's what we added on. So now when I go back and refresh, when I click my first link, notice it gives me an ID in the end of the URL. So now I know it's ID 7. If I click on a different link, I get a different ID number. In fact, you can actually see, if I move my mouse over the different delete links, if you look at the status bar at the bottom left of my browser window, down here, you can see the ID numbers changing as I move my mouse from one delete link to the next. So we're calling the same page every time, but we're passing along that musician ID each time. So our link got a bit messy. It's about to get messier. Because we said there was something else we should do that we haven't done yet. Right now, as soon as I click the link, right, takes me here. Something should happen in between. What should happen? You click the link. We don't want to go to this page right away. What are we going to do in between? For safety, what are we going to do? Yeah, we want to give the user confirmation. Because once we get to this page, we're just going to delete from the database. If they click the wrong link, it's going to be too late. No, we need this ID. We need this value in order to delete this record from the table in the database. Yes, we have it already. So we can see all of, we're not displaying the IDs in the table. We don't usually show them to the users, but they're automatically assigned in the database. When we create a musician, it will automatically give us a new ID. So I want to add a little bit of JavaScript on these links. So when you click them, before it goes to the delete page, it pops up a little window so the user can cancel it. So I'm going to add one more thing to my link, and this is going to go inside my anchor tag. We'll add a JavaScript event handler. We're going to write a little function called confirm delete that will return true or false. So when the user clicks on these links, it's going to call this function and say to the user, are you sure you want to do this? So this code goes inside of our A tag. But this isn't going to work yet because we don't have a confirm delete function. We need to write that function in JavaScript. So we could put this function right in this page. Generally, it's not a good idea. Where are we, if we want to write JavaScript functions, where should we generally save those functions? Yeah, let's create a folder and a separate JS file. And that way, any scripts we put in there are available on any page in the site. If we write our function here, we can't use it if we want to delete something from another page. So we'll put it in a JS. So I have it, we created a CSS folder last week. I'm going to create a new directory and call it JS. And then we'll create this function inside my JS directory, I'll create a new JavaScript file. And I'll just call it scripts.js. So this will be a global file for any front-end client-side JavaScript we want to use in our site. So JavaScript has a built-in confirm method we can call, where we pass in a string. And it gives us a modal dialog so the user can't click in behind it. And there's two buttons, an OK button and a cancel button. When they click OK, OK will return a true. When they click cancel, it returns a false. So if we return false, it means our link won't work. When the user clicks delete, they don't get taken off to the next page. So this is a simple generic function. It's not related to deleting musicians. We could use this for deleting anything. Deleting albums, deleting users. Anytime we give the user a delete button, let's add a click handler to call this method. Well, clicking the link before the link is active, the JavaScript interrupts and gives the user a pop-up. It interrupts the HTML href. It won't go here unless the user clicks OK in that confirm window. If they click cancel, the href off to the delete page never happens. Now we need to include our script file on this page. We've written this function, we've put it in this file, but these two file pages aren't connected. So we need a script tag. So here we are, include our JS library. So if we don't link to it, our confirm function won't get called. We'll get an error, a JavaScript error in the browser saying this confirm delete function can't be found or is undefined. So we created a JS folder. We created scripts.js inside of it. We've linked it to our PHP page and then attached a click handler to our delete links. So we'll try it out. We're almost due for a break. We'll see how this functions. So I need to refresh my list. And now if I try to delete something, we'll go down to the bottom. So now I get this little JavaScript pop-up. If I click cancel, and you can see in the status bar, this is musician ID number 11. When I click cancel, nothing happens. I stay on this page and my record's still here. If I click delete again, and this time click OK, it now takes me to the next page. So we're not deleting anything yet, we're just setting it up. So we should always, always, always ask users to confirm before we let them delete anything. Because once that data is deleted, the only way to get it back is to restore the database from a backup, which is very painstaking and problematic. Because if we restore a backup, it means any new data we have since then will get lost. So this simple JavaScript, we can use this in any site. Doesn't matter if it's PHP or some other language. Whenever we give the user a delete function, just attach that little event handler. And that was giving the user the option to cancel before they delete something that they didn't mean to. So it's about time for us to take a pause. To finish this piece, when we come back, we're going to have to write the code on our delete page. We've created it, but nothing actually happens. This is just a blank page. So I can click my link and go here. But if I go back and refresh, my list is still here. We haven't actually interacted with the database to remove that selected record. So when we come back from our break, we'll need to put the PHP code in here so that we can delete whichever record our user clicks on. I will upload what we've done so far to GitHub, and we'll come back at 12:35 or so.